You're on the air with...
If you feel confident in your ability, you're filling them with false hope, Agent Burke. If it's going to happen, nothing they can do will stop it.
That's not a very positive message for me to send.
Your message is not the issue here. Trying to convince these women they have a choice is not only egotistical, it's dangerous.
Let's talk about your ego. What makes you an expert on the subject?
Let's call it field research. I've been conducting it for a year or so. From New Jersey to right here in Baltimore.
I'd like to know more about it.
I'm sure you would. But I'm not giving away my trade secrets to amateurs. Just don't be so careless with other people's lives.
He was calm, he was deliberate, telling me and everyone that was listening to him that he's no fear of being caught.
George, it's Bailey. About 10:30, call me ASAP.
Maybe he slept in.
George hasn't slept in the 4 years I've known him. This call you got at the radio station. You sure it wasn't a prank?
No, it would have deteriorated into vulgarity. This guy wanted to set the record straight. You know, in the past 6 months, he could be responsible for over a dozen rapes on campuses from Princeton to Dandridge.
DNA evidence?
No, not yet. He wore condom, which means that he probably has a record and he doesn't want to be traced.
You know, Baltimore PD has an excellent sex crimes unit. They haven't requested our assistance. He went there to help a friend.
Yes, one of my best friends. We were roommates on the college that this is happening. Bailey. He called me. Look, Bailey, just give me a few days. I'll put a profile together and then I will give it to the locals.
Take John. I'll call Baltimore PD.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna go this afternoon, huh? I'm gonna see my brother. He's been in rehab for 60 days. I haven't seen him since Christmas.
How's he doing?
Lousy. As in minimal improvement. Immersed in denial, pathologically manipulative. I don't believe in sugarcoating things.
Neither do I. What have you been doing with him for the past 2 months?
Been trying to reverse the past 33 years. Addictive personalities are a long time in the making, and it takes a long...
I know about addictive personalities.
Well, then you know you don't kick crack cocaine twice. Once you're an addict for the rest of your life. You either make the decision you're going to change your life or you die. Danny can't make that decision. If he walked out of here today, he'd be high within an hour.
I'd like to see him. He's my brother.
He's my patient. And I will not allow what little progress we've made to be jeopardized by...
Look, I know how to reach him. There's 7 kids in my family, and none of them are closer than Danny and me.
Which is exactly why a visit would be counterproductive.
Look, I'm not his enabler.
No, from what he's told me, and from what he hasn't, that's exactly what you are.
He basically blamed me for Danny, for his addiction.
That's insane. You've been more like a mother to him than a sister.
Yeah, you know, Tom would agree with that one. I've been trying to find some sort of commonality between these rape victims. I can't find anything.
Head of detectives is on his way over. Trace should take about an hour to set up. We need 15 seconds to trace a hard line. Cell phone takes over a minute.
Assuming he'll call.
He'll call.
The other 2 victims have withdrawn from school. Melissa Jensen's toughing it out.
I read the statement she gave to the locals. It's a little vague.
Let me try and set up a meeting.
Thanks.
Listen, thanks for coming. I know that this is a little indulgent.
I needed to get out of town since Kate died.
So, how's the girl who broke my heart?
David Palmer, this is John Grant.
Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, hon.
Melissa says she's available all afternoon.
David and I were together in our junior year.
And you're the girl who broke his heart.
God, he was always prone to exaggeration.
But prone is how you two spent most of your time. You dumped him, and he married your roommate.
He rushed me from behind and held me while I shook. He wrapped tape around my head to cover my eyes. He said he'd kill me if I resisted.
Did he have a weapon?
I never saw one, but I knew when he grabbed me that he meant it. Rick wants us to transfer to another school. You know, like it never happened.
Police report said he took your engagement ring.
When did he take it?
First thing, when he was holding me down. It was heart-shaped. He made fun of it. Rick's still in school. He doesn't have a lot of money. But, he was gonna get me a bigger one someday.
How is he handling this?
Weird. It's there, but it's different. You know, I'm not his anymore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A few weeks ago, I lost somebody I really cared about. I didn't have the option of a second chance. You do.
He took the ring before the attack. What is that? Part of the fantasy that she's his and his alone?
Maybe. Maybe he's asserting himself over his victims, owning them.
I'll get with the locals, check out pawn shops and fences in the area.
We're back at Danvers University Radio, WGND, with FBI profiler Rachel Burke.
The suspect has been taking things from his victims, things of value. Leather jackets, rings, watches. I would leave those things at home for a while.
Yes, you're on the air.
You're doing it again, Agent Burke. Everything you're telling them is wrong. Walking with escorts, changing their routines, it's a waste of time. I know where they live. I know what they eat, where they sleep, what they wear to bed.
Is that intuition, or are you spying on them in their dorms?
I don't have to spy on them to know what they want.
And what is that? What do you think they want?
Someone to control them. To make them feel powerless and weak.
I think a lot of people out there would disagree with that.
I guess I know women better than you do.
Then why do they fight?
Because they think they should. But believe me, everyone wants exactly what they're getting. Don't shoot! It was
Shut up! Get on the ground now!
I didn't do it!
Get your hands on your head!
I was just calling you.
Shut up!
Cut me a break, man. My old man is gonna kill me.
Shut up!
I was just kidding. It was a joke.
You think that's a joke? Wait till you get into county lockup. They love jokers like you.
Until we can confirm that the caller is responsible for the attacks, we need to continue to take every precaution possible.
And when we come back, we'll take a few more.
Hello?
I've been thinking about you all day.
Jason,
I'm
oh
sorry.
my God.
Honey, I wanted to surprise you.
Your dinner almost wound up all over the floor.
So, what did they say, your fellow counselors?
Everybody loved it. They're so excited.
I know it's a little small.
It's not small. It's sweet. I love it. And I love you.
I've seen pictures of these girls. The way they dress. They all look like sluts. Like they're asking for it. So you're saying that this man's attacks are justified? Not justified, but understandable. Look, let's get something straight. Nobody asks to be raped. I don't care if you're wearing flannel pajamas or if you're wrapped in saran. All I'm saying is if a woman flaunts herself, in my opinion, she gets what she deserves. What's your first name? Arlene. Arlene, you're an idiot.
You're developing quite an audience, Agent Burke. Took me 20 minutes to get through.
How does it feel to be a star?
I can live without it.
Sublimated self-esteem. It's rare for someone who makes their living analyzing others. That kid you arrested last night told you he was a prankster. You can believe it.
He gave us the exact descriptions of the items that were stolen.
No, he didn't. 2 gold bracelets, an embossed leather bag, and a heart-shaped engagement ring.
My God, Rachel. Do you target your victims because of bracelets and rings?
I'm not going to do your job for you, Agent Burke. You are a profiler. Profile?
You're white. Between the ages of 21 and 35.
Really? Everybody knows that events of this kind almost never cross racial lines. Love to keep chatting with you, but our minute's almost up. You might want to check the parking lot outside the busted keg. I'm sure you'll find him up to my usual standards.
Did you get him? No, didn't get it. Not enough time.
Do we know what he took from her?
Before she lapsed into a coma, she said it was a necklace. Not worth much, but he did leave a couple of expensive necklaces.
Hi, this is George. Leave your message after the tone.
George, I left 4 messages on this machine and 4 on the voicemail. All I want to know is that you're all right.
If I don't hear from you within the next 2 hours, I'm coming over.
Are you ready to go, sweetheart?
I'm sorry, honey. I only did 3 pages today. And you know my rule, 10 pages a day, without fail. You go ahead. I'll open a can of tuna.
It's been 2 days since we've been able to sit and talk, and
That slave driver in New York wants his draft at the end of the month.
darling, these files are sensitive, and
What'd your mother say about the wedding?
oh, May'd be perfect. Dad's having surgery in June, so
Nay, it is then. For it giveth unto all lovers courage, that lusty month of May. Sir Thomas Mallory.
Sweetheart, anyone I counsel has to trust that their files would be kept completely confidential. Jason.
I was going to give it to you at dinner, but since I have to starve for my art...
You're spending your entire advance.
The book's pre-sold in every major chain. Go ahead. Consider it an early wedding present. It's something old. Turn of the century, Portuguese. Last century.
I never thought I could be this happy.
Get out! Get out! I must create.
Why don't you make a signal when you turn?
I'm sorry, Mace. Have you heard from George?
Since when?
Come with me.
There you go.
George?
Why would he leave without it? And how far is he going to get?
Does this seem like George to you?
No, it doesn't seem like George to me.
I'm gonna call the locals.
Latest victim's still in a coma.
David, that's not what I meant. Maybe I shouldn't take his calls. Maybe by doing so, I'm providing him with validation.
At least while he's on the phone, we know he's not raping anyone. I'll check what's coming over the wire.
Yeah.
Thought the 7-year itch was just a movie. David and I used to be so great together. And then it sort of became this constant battle. I mean, Cobra and Mongoose. And now the battle's over and... civil.
Have you done anything?
What, like an affair?
No, like a counselor.
No. To both.
What was it you were looking for this morning at the scene of the encounter? There were no clues. I don't leave clues, but you were practically on your knees, staring at the spot where she was vanquished. Are you psychic?
Do you believe they exist?
That thoughts and images can be empathetically received is documented fact.
Well, I'm not one of those who can receive them.
So you don't know what I'm thinking?
I didn't say that. I just said I'm not psychic.
So what am I thinking, Agent Burke?
That a woman or women abused you when you were a child, and this is your payback.
You are the best the FBI has to offer?
And that you either just discovered or attacked another victim.
Damn it, we were close.
She thought that it was gonna be a good idea if I took a breath.
There's something about his victims that reminds him of the domineering woman that abused him.
They all had different backgrounds, no physical similarities.
That's gotta be their personality. They're strong, they're assertive. You know the words that he uses? Encounter instead of rape. Event instead of attack. He vanquishes them. The whole thing sounds like it's staged or choreographed.
Who do you vanquish? A formidable enemy? That's a domineering personality. Accounts for his blitz attacks. He can't confront them face to face.
I'm gonna look over the victim's report, see if there's anything that indicates a special strength of personality. I could head back to Atlanta in the morning. Jenny's not doing as well as they had hoped.
I'm sorry.
Kate.
Can't stop thinking about her. I'll get on this.
Bailey.
Where the hell have you been?
I'm so sorry. Richard had an accident at his seminar in Tampa. I mean, it's nothing serious, but his blood sugar just went a little nutty on him.
I thought the glyburide was keeping his diabetes in check.
It is. You know, he forgot to pack it, so I jumped on the red eye. I'm sorry. I'm only just now getting around to checking my messages.
How'd you get on the plane without your wallet?
I had my bureau credentials with me. I'm just, thank God, I had enough cash on me in my pocket.
You don't sound too good, Georgie.
I'm sorry, I haven't slept. Listen, I can begin to work in a couple of hours.
Just get some rest.
Okay, thanks, Bailey. Bye.
Thank you. Was I expecting you?
Not unless you read minds. I just can't get our conversation out of my head. So I figured instead of continuing to argue with myself, I'd come down here and have it with you.
What were we arguing about?
My role in Danny's addiction.
Who's winning?
You were, but I was staging a comeback. I don't see why just because I care about Danny, that automatically makes me his enabler. I love him.
He knows that. And he knows you're always gonna love him no matter what.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is that it's your love he's trying to test. Look at your life, Rachel. You're single, you have no children, no one depending on you, but you need someone depending on you.
Oh, Danny and I, we've just always looked out for each other.
You had a mother.
She worked, and she had 5 other kids to worry about.
And you had Danny. Playing 2 roles in his life hasn't been good for either of you. It was hard being both permissive and authoritative. And it's only going to get harder as you start to think about having a family of your own.
My clock's not ticking that loud.
Maybe I was a little too hard on you the other day, and I apologize.
Same here. All his victims fought back. They weren't submissive.
And you think a guy like this is able to sustain a relationship?
It's part of his cover. It provides him with instant legitimacy and acceptance.
How does he keep the truth from her?
He probably showers her with gifts and attention, something that she's not used to. So, rather than confront him on it, she just lets the relationship limp along on its own inertia.
It's him. Line 3.
Rachel Burke.
Your junior year, you carried 16 credits and maintained a GPA of 3.8. But what happened in the fall semester of '89, Agent Burke? You were down 0.3 of a point. That's not like you at all.
My mother went to the hospital to have a lump removed from her breast.
You took care of her?
Yeah, what a concept, huh? Taking care of someone instead of someone taking care of you.
Well, you sound a little jealous.
You're right. But at least I'm not sucking the life out of someone while I'm trying to prove to myself that I'm worthy.
I don't have to prove anything to myself.
Well, sure you do. That you're strong enough to vanquish strong women.
You're not even close.
That's why the woman that you live with is weak. You picked her because she's so dazzled by your good looks and your charm that she would never even suspect.
That's enough.
She's on campus, huh? Or close enough to provide you with the cover. Or probably close enough even to have...
Shut up!
What happened to your arrogance now, huh? Where's that strong man that
You have to be right. It's the first time he lost his temper.
He can afford to. I can't.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
For God's sake, David, I carry a gun.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Man, how many scotches have you had?
Just enough to get up to courage.
David.
Look, I was never happier than when we were together.
That's ancient history.
I remember every minute.
Oh, I remember the other night at the bar. You picking up a 19-year-old?
I was flirting. Did you see me leave with her? Rachel, I don't want a 19-year-old. I want... Susan and I live parallel lives. I mean, I care for her. I really do, but
Make it work.
That's the point. It's work. And with you and me, it was always easy. And it could be that way again. You still think about us. I know you do. Listen, she's working late tonight. We can go.
No, we can't.
I told you. Susan and I made a mistake.
Yes. I'm not going to. Okay? She's my friend. I can't.
You're not surprised, are you?
He was drunk.
I've been using that excuse for years.
That last conversation with the suspect, I told him way too much about what I was thinking.
You had every right to.
I should not have provoked him the way I did.
He provoked you, looking into your past.
Dominant women. Fighters who overcome an abusive relationship or some other kind of adversity, but that makes them worthy of his need to control and consume them.
Where does he find them?
Maybe through the woman he's living with. They might be friends of hers, and she didn't report it because she's afraid that he'll leave her.
Makes her cold-blooded as hell.
Just lonely.
Maybe she's his source. Doesn't know it. Has something to do with her work.
Susan, is there someone on campus that could have been in contact with all 4 victims? A counselor that helps with emotional problems, a faculty advisor, but someone who works probably with only women.
Anita Madison.
Yes?
My name is John Grant. This is Special Agent Rachel Burke. We're with the FBI.
You're a student counselor at the university. Does anyone else have access to your files?
Of course not. They're confidential.
Do you ever bring them home where your husband could see them?
I'm not married. I'm engaged.
Recently?
Well, last week. Why?
A ring matching this description was taken from one of the rape victims on campus.
How well do you know your fiancé?
What you're suggesting is...
We're not suggesting anything.
Jason is not the person you're looking for.
Did he recently give you 2 gold bracelets and a necklace?
I don't understand. He loves me. We're gonna be married.
Two gold bracelets and a necklace were taken from Anita Madison's apartment, as well as $300 in cash. Which means we can assume he's bolted, but he didn't take Anita's car. Most likely, he's using public transportation, makes it easier to blend into a crowd and harder to trace. If he follows his pattern, he's headed south. Small colleges in Delaware and North and South Carolina need to be given his description.
Jason Bendrus is a registered sex offender. He served time in New York and Pennsylvania. You were right about his use of condoms to avoid a DNA link.
Melissa Jansen overcame childhood leukemia. Ann McDonald was in a debilitating car accident. Danielle Baker lost her parents in a plane crash. But they were all trying to overcome their adversities through counseling.
His need to dominate may have started around the time he was 11. His parents were divorced because of extreme spousal abuse.
How badly was his mother beaten?
His mother was the abuser.
And Jason was probably too weak to help his father. So his victim's strength became the counterpoint to his weakness.
Has he tried to reach you?
No, he's not going to. He's looking to control a strong woman. He knows I'm stronger than he is. He's halfway to South Carolina by now.
How do you deal with depravity like this? How do you sleep at night?
Like a baby.
Susan Palmer. She's not here right now. I could try and find her for you if you want.
Yes, hi, this is Rachel Burke. The suspect's in line 3744. As long as I can.
No, she was just... Wait, here she is.
Hello, Jason?
You bitch. Anita never suspected anything. And now it's all ruined.
Sorry, that is my job.
Don't you get smug with me. Your job had nothing to do with it. It was your ego. You live in obscurity. And I gave you celebrity!
You okay?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
Rachel?
Yeah, he's out there, John. Let's go.
You stay with her.
Officers! The gunshots came from over there.
There's only one access to the freeway. Highway Patrol has it blocked off. What'd he say this?
He's pissed we ruined his situation with Anita.
Sorry, pal, that's our job.
Yeah, that's what I told him. You know, he actually sounded like he cared about her.
He doesn't care about anyone. He could have killed you or Susan. What?
He's never used a weapon before. And he called Susan's direct line. That's the first time that he's called any place other than the station. I destroyed his core relationship with Anita, like his mother destroyed his relationship with his father. He's likely to come after me. Only I carry a gun.
Rachel.
Let her go.
Give me 2 ambulances now.
Okay, it's over.
Get some pressure here. Stop the bleeding.
You're gonna be fine. I'll come see you at the hospital as soon as I can, okay?
So, how is she?
She's fine. It's bruises mostly.
So, he didn't...
No.
God. When I heard she got hurt, well, the thought of losing her, can I, you think they let me ride to the hospital?
Yes.
You okay? First time? Want to talk about it?
There's nothing to talk about.
You were there for me. When Kate died.
Maybe later.
George's personal files are George's personal files. The whole point of